Greetings, divine radiance. So, usually every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m., I go live over in my Facebook group, the United Light Beings Awakening, with Nahkila Isha. And today, Facebook was acting extremely wonky, and for whatever reason, I could not go live. So this is my first time going live on YouTube. So those of you that are joining from the United Light Beings Awakening group, thank you so much for your patience. And those of you that are new to my channel or new to seeing me live, thank you also for being here. So I am just going to wait for a few moments to allow people to join. How is everyone doing today? Let's see. Okay. I am just looking at what's going on here. Like I say, this is my first time doing this. Someone is on, so whoever you are, thank you for being here. You can go ahead and leave a comment so I know who you are. Is this Naya? Is this Naya with me today? So yeah, I'm just going to wait until a few more people get on. But because we are a little behind schedule because of the technical difficulties, I'd like to go ahead and start with our breathing. So those of you that have joined me for our Wednesday Live Empower Hour, you know that every Wednesday before we get started, we do our deep breathing. So what I'd like you to do is really just close your eyes, allow yourself to become calm, and just inhale slow and deep through your nose. As you're inhaling, visualize and feel your body being filled with divine light and love. And with every exhale, slowly out of your mouth, visualize and feel yourself releasing all that does not serve you. And if you know of specifics that you're choosing to release, feel free to go ahead and literally release those things. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and begin with the breathing. And as you're breathing, I am going to breathe with you and send you Reiki. Just go ahead and breathe slow and deep in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Again, breathing in love and light. And exhale all that does not serve you. And I just call on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, and ascended masters. I ask that you use me as a vessel of highest light and love so that I may deliver a message to those watching live and on the replay, a message that serves their highest good. I ask that their hearts, their minds, their spirits be open to receive. I thank you for this gift to serve, and I thank you for their beautiful spirits. And so it is. So together, one more deep inhale, breathing in love and light. And exhaling all that no longer serves you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And you know, as I was breathing, Spirit was also talking to me, and literally, we all know there's no such thing as a coincidence. There's no such thing as a mistake. And I had literally been thinking about moving Wednesday Live Empower Hour to YouTube and having the group join here as well as others who are not in the group. And literally, it was a thought that I've been having, and Spirit made it so. So this is not a mistake. So I will be posting this in the United Light Beings Awakening group, but I guess Spirit had other plans today. So here we are. So I am going to start with my Archangel Michael deck. And these messages are messages that are meant to serve the highest good of us collectively as a group. Okay, so 3 came out, and I was told to start with this 3. So this is the card we got. And what it says is sense of humor. My prayer, thank you for helping me see the humor in this situation so I can lovingly laugh at human nature. I am willing to view my experience in a new light in order to attract love and healing energy. So instantly when I read this, I mean, the first thing that came up is what happened today, you know, with this whole live thing. But literally what's coming through is to remind you to shift how you're viewing your experiences. You know, we tend to take life really serious. And sometimes that seriousness blocks us from really not only enjoying the bliss of life, but reaping the benefits of the blessings of life. So when you're experiencing something, it's so important that you're able to take a step back and just really look at everything as what it is. It's meant to serve you. It's meant to grow you. It's meant to teach you. It's meant to elevate you so that you can then be a teacher to others, a light to others, and so that you can also fulfill your calling. And as I was saying this, I was being told to share this with you. And it's super random, considering what this card is about. Well, actually, it just clicked. It's not. So yesterday, I actually went to see a divorce attorney and put the money down for that. I also filled my tank up, you know, and I was like, you know, today I put out a lot of money. Right? And money's just an energy. We know that. But sometimes when we're putting it out, we have to remind ourselves of that. Right? So I decide, you know, I can manifest anything. So I'm sitting at the light and I'm, you know, just sending that energy. Everything that I put out today comes back to me now. Everything I put out today comes back to me now. Everything I put out today comes back to me now. And so it is. And as I'm at this light, I turn to my right. And there's a man sitting on the side of the road. Now, I also have a $20 bill that's in my console, and I'm just waiting for Spirit to tell me who to give it to. So I'm thinking, is it him? You know, not even reading his sign, because we assume all the signs say the same thing, right? Wrong. I pay attention to his sign, and his sign says, smile. Smiles are contagious. And then I look at him, and he gives me the silliest smile. And then I smile back. And then he makes faces at me, gives me the peace sign. I make faces at him, gives him the peace sign, you know. And he's just this jolly man with no teeth sitting on the side of the road, not asking for anything. What he's doing is he's spreading love and light. And that's what I put out yesterday, love and light. So I instantly manifested what I was asking for. So there's so many lessons there. There's a lesson of being specific when you're manifesting, but there's also the lesson of you have the ability to manifest, and it can be instant. And sometimes what we ask for, what we think we need, is not always what we need. And I use air quotes because those of you joining me, you may not be familiar with lack language versus abundance language. Those of you that have been with me are, and need is a form of lack. However, that love and that light that this man was sharing, which was what I put out, and I got it back in return. After that, I smiled, and then I laughed. I mean, I'm literally getting on the freeway, and probably for about 5 minutes, I was smiling. I was laughing. I even cried tears of joy at the fact that Spirit heard me and responded to me instantly. And so those feelings, those high vibrational feelings, will allow me to manifest abundance in all areas, including the energy of money that I had just put out that day. So that was something I was just led to share with you. And so the next card we get, and I'm going to be doing this a bit different over here because of the fact that the camera is different. It's backwards. Usually I can read it from here. But what it says is, this is your life's purpose. My prayer, Archangel Michael, you know the details of my divine life purpose, and I ask you to help me be aligned with my goals. Please clearly guide my actions so that I'm taking the best steps to fully manifest my wonderful and meaningful career. And so it is. And so it is. This speaks volumes to me personally, but as it relates to you, you can call on assistance of your divine spirit team for help either discovering your purpose, either activating your purpose, having clarity on your purpose, and also to provide you with the resources that will allow you to be and live in your purpose. If you know you have a purpose, but you're not living it, it's because you're blocking yourself and you haven't exercised your ability to co-create with the divine. You're being called to do that now. I just heard to stop sitting on your laurels and allowing life to just happen to you. Make a choice on the life you'd like to create and then create it. Create it. There's nothing stopping you but you. You have all the tools and the resources available to you. It's just a matter of learning how to bring them to you, to bring them in. They're already there. They're waiting. There's a string that's attached to you and your goals. And all you have to do is figure out a way to press that button that makes that string go, and then it's right there to you. It's right there in your current reality. Okay, thank you. So this is the next card. And what this one says is believe and trust. Believe and trust. My prayer. Before going to sleep tonight, say, Archangel Michael, please enter my dreams and replace fear with faith and trust. Let me be filled with strength, courage, and confidence. And so it is. Okay, so here's the thing. What I'm hearing is there are literally two states of being. And those two states of being are love or fear. Love or fear. Those two states of being. So if you are fearing, you cannot vibrate at the frequency of love. And if you are vibrating at the frequency of love, you will not fear. So call on your spirit team, call on Archangel Michael, and ask to have that fear be completely removed. You can even do an unconscious mind command. Unconscious mind, while I'm sleeping, dreaming, and thinking, replace fear with faith and trust, starting now and throughout the day. And so it is. Your unconscious mind will listen to whatever command you give it. So make sure you're mindful of what you're telling it to do. You have so much power, more than you know. You are truly in control, but it's just time for you to take that control. Take it. I don't know if you're able to comment. Leave me a comment so I can see if I can read it. Oh, is that Naya? Naya, yeah, Naya's Curiosity. Hey, Naya, I'm glad you're here. I see they are on. So yeah, this is all new. This is all new for me going live here on YouTube, but we're rolling with it. So I'm just waiting to see what deck to pull from next. Okay, thank you. I'm being told to pull from the fairy deck, and this one is a thick deck, one of the thickest that I have. Ooh, okay. Take all of them? Okay. So here we go. There's quite a few that fell out. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 fell out. No coincidence there. And this was the first one I was told to take. Life experience. And what it says is, let go of belief systems that no longer work for you. An important life-changing event, a situation that leads to significant opportunities. So what are you holding on to that's not serving you? What self-talk are you repeating that you heard growing up? Or what self-talk are you repeating that you've carried into this life from a past life? Pay attention to what you're saying and how it affects what you're doing. You know, I don't just give these messages because I think this is the truth. I give these messages because I know this is the truth and I know this works. Although Spirit delivers it to me to give to you, I have been exactly where you are. I've been exactly where you are. We're reflections of each other. And when I began this work, I set the intention that I would serve those I was meant to serve. And I found that those that I serve are me in various situations that I've overcome. So it works, but you just have to do the work. And the first step is to release fear, to trust that the divine has your back, to know that when you leap, that net will appear. When you fly, when you take that jump to fly, your wings will appear because you are an earth angel. You are here to help shift the collective consciousness of humanity. You cannot do that in fear. You cannot do that being stagnant. So it's so important that you trust, that you have faith, that you surrender, and you take action. This is how you'll be able to dictate your life experiences, how you experience life. Okay, thank you. Naya said, I do protection often, but I do intuitively feel that I need another way to protect myself. I asked my spirit team to help me, of course. So cancel, delete, need. It serves your highest good. You know, if you're claiming that need, it's going to bring, the universe will respond, giving you more need. So definitely allowing spirit to guide you on what that extra protection is. Now, we just talked about you being me in various stages I've overcome. And I too, probably like 5 months ago, was feeling like, okay, it's time to step up the protection, but what else can I do? And I literally just allowed spirit to guide me, because there's certain things when you're feeling it in your soul, it's about connecting, and your spirit team will tell you what other ways you can amp it up. You know, of course, we have the traditional ways. We have the salt, you know, the parameters of our home. We have the smudging of our home, you know, and not just in the air, but literally every nook and cranny, opening drawers, opening cabinets, getting in between refrigerators and your closets, you know, just everywhere. And after you smudge with the sage, follow it with something sweet like lavender. So once you release those low vibrational energies, you're now welcoming in those high vibrational sweet energies with the sweet scent of lavender. You can also smudge with Palo Santos, which is both the cleansing and the sweet. So, let's see what else. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for being here. And what else? Something else is coming through. Oh, make sure you have a door or window open when you're smudging so that that energy has some place to go. Also, the other thing is, when you are protecting yourself, don't share every way that you protect. And that in itself is a form of protection. You know, don't share every single way you're protecting yourself. I also create these window hangings that have mirrors and they have beads that have been blessed. And those are to send out anything that's attempting to come in. You can also, the same way you do your auric field strengthening exercises, where you see yourself encased in that reflective shield, you can put that around your entire home. Make sure you go underneath, because spirits and energy can come in through the earth, through the ground. So make sure your whole entire home, your property is just encased in that reflective bubble. And that's another way to protect. Cloaking, protection can also be done through cloaking, making yourself, your home invisible to low vibrational energies. Oh, wow. Naya said that she has lavender and rosemary growing outside. That is so awesome. Awesome. That is so awesome. So let's see what the next card says. And this one came in upside down. And what this one says is 2 of Autumn. Bring fun into everything you do. Juggling multiple priorities or jobs and exceptional talent for multitasking. So, you know, whenever I do these lives, I watch them back because of the fact that I am the vessel. There's also lessons for me as well. And today it's really speaking to me, because this is a message Spirit has been telling me for a while, to have more fun. Because I love my work, I tend to do it all the time. And Spirit has been saying, have girl time, you know, have fun. shut everything down, you know, just serve you. And so this is also a message for you. If you are someone that is multitasking, if you are someone that is going, it is time for you to learn to take a break, learn to stop, slow down, and smell the roses is what I'm hearing. Learn to enjoy the fruits of your labor. And labor doesn't always come in the form of work, you know, like a job, just the fruits of your labor. What have you been toiling? What soil have you been tending to? You know, if you're growing fruit, but you never stop to take a bite, then what good is it to grow fruit? I'm hearing it's time for you to really stop to enjoy life, because you can and you will burn out. Exhaustion lowers your vibration. And being tired doesn't allow you to serve at your highest capacity. So it's time for you to allow yourself to rest. And sometimes rest is in the form of fun. But take a nap when you feel led. Just stop and breathe deeply even. Taking those 5 slow, deep breaths in and out will help you to be balanced. So just taking the time to follow your own spirit. And you will be in flow with your divine purpose and path. Okay, thank you. And this one is upside down too. Okay, so let me explain. I'm talking like you guys are all here all the time, but some people may see this and not. When it's upside down, it typically means there's a block. So for instance, that one would say that we aren't taking that time out. We're not slowing down. And so you're being encouraged to do so. Now, this one also came in upside down. And what it is 7 of winter. There is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Okay, so what came through was frozen, and not the movie, but yes, let it go. Okay, let it go. All that's not serving you, just let it go. But frozen, if you look at this picture closely, it's ice, you know, and although she's in motion, it doesn't look like she's moving. She looks like she's frozen. So when you are not releasing what doesn't serve you, when you are not trusting and active in your purpose, you are frozen in a state of being. I heard an uncomfortable state of being that does not serve your highest good. It's time for you to thaw out. It's time for you to move. It's time for you to be in flow. You know, water can do 2 things. It can flow or it can freeze. It can flow or it can freeze. And when water is flowing, that flowing water is the water that's able to bring forth new life. Anything that's frozen is just stuck in that period of time. I heard it's time for you to release the freeze and be in flow. It's time for you to thaw out your heart. That pain, the painful experiences that you have experienced is what keeps you frozen and stuck. You're stuck in that pain. You're stuck in that fear. You're stuck in your story. And your story is not what defines you. Your story is the building blocks that allows you to eventually reach the top of the mountain. So when you're at the top of the mountain, you're able to shout love. You're able to shout light. You're able to shout transformation. You're able to shout healing, right? So our experiences, our traumas, they're not meant to keep us in that valley. They're meant to be the ladder, the steps that get us to the top of the mountain. Show gratitude for these experiences. Release the fear that they created. Okay, why am I feeling dizzy? What's going on? Okay, thank you. I just heard the idea of releasing is very scary to some, and they find it difficult. It's almost like it's confusing. How do I do it? There's several ways to release. And the best way for you to release may not be the best way for someone else to release. Okay, thank you. I'm hearing tell them you can connect to help them release. So yes, it is something that we can do together. And the way it works is by me tapping into spirit to find out what's going to serve your highest good. I'm able to draw from the toolbox of all of the things I've learned in school and in my own healing and in my own training to be able to help you release. But spirit will tell me exactly which healing modality serves you. And if you do the work, I guarantee that you will release. You know, I posted the other day how I was at a spiritual bottom, my spiritual bottom in 2016. I shared my before and after pictures, and I literally wore what I felt internally on the outside. My physical appearance was an indication of what I was feeling inside. Horrible, you know, but the way I got here, I could have went to school all day long. I could have invested in healing all day long, but I had to do the work. And that's the key. You can get the tools, but you have to do the work. And not just one day, not just 2 or 7, but you have to do it consistently. And even when you release, even when you heal, there is maintenance that's required. As long as you're living, it never stops. So I'm hearing to tell you, if you are someone who's interested in the healing, the releasing, let's connect and let's get started. Release the fear. I'm hearing also release the shame of your past and allow yourself to flourish and grow. Don't be afraid of the unknown. I heard because you've been through hell and back. And now it's time for you to experience heaven. And that's exactly how I would describe it. You know, life before it was hell. I mean, you know, it was a hell, and life now is heaven. It really is. It is heaven. And heaven is our birthright. There is no lake of fire that we're going to burn in. It's metaphorically an example of what life feels like when you aren't following your divine path. And when we think in terms of following God, following the divine, we're following self. We're reflections of the divine. So don't be afraid to release control. Don't be afraid to step aside and be guided. And don't be afraid to call on others for help. You are worthy and deserving. Okay, thank you. So the next card we got is 3 of Autumn. 3 of Autumn. Okay. And what it says is follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do. Being compensated for your creative talents. Oh my goodness. This is a good one. We haven't talked about this in a while, but your purpose is yours alone. There is no one else. And let me show you the picture. I just was told to let you see the picture. Your purpose is yours alone. There is no one else who can fulfill your purpose. You have a unique role to play. A unique role to play in shifting the collective consciousness of humanity. Only you can do it. And as light workers, a lot of us tend to feel like in order to serve from the heart or from the soul, I can't be compensated. Why? Or I can't be wealthy. Why? I can't be rich. Why? Who told you that? Who told you that? Money is not the root of all evil. Dark, low vibrating energy is the root of all evil. Money only makes you more of who you are. So like I stated earlier, I have this $20 bill on my console and I'm just waiting for Spirit to tell me who to give it to. You know what I mean? And right now, $20 is my give zone, right? But if I were to have $1 million, there may be $1,000 in my console. You know what I mean? So the more you have, the more you're able to give. When you can create based on what spirit gives you to create, and you can hire those that are meant to help you serve, when you can be comfortable and happy, and when you can go vacation on an island to recharge your battery, right? Your vibration is higher. So if you are happy, you are going to be happy, rich or poor. If you are love, you are going to be loved, rich or poor. If you are a giver, you are going to give, rich or poor. Money is simply an energy. It's simply an energy. It is okay for you to do this work, and it is okay for you to charge accordingly. And I started to say your worth, and Spirit said accordingly. And this is why. Everything I do, I ask Spirit for guidance. Everything I do, I ask Spirit to guide it. Even when I price my services. So yesterday, in the shower, Spirit told me to create a workshop that's strictly about manifesting, releasing the blocks and manifesting. So yesterday I went to the park and I connected and did some meditating, grounding, yoga. And I actually was I received how this is going to go, this 2-day workshop. But when I got out of the shower, in the shower, I'm throwing around these prices. I'm like 97, because at first I'm thinking it's going to be a day. Then the more Spirit gives me, I'm like, okay, 197. And I'm just like, Spirit, guide me, guide me, guide me, guide me. And what came through is the next synchronistic number you see, that is the price of this workshop. I look at my phone, it's 11:11. Now, let me tell you, at first I'm like, oh, that's a lot. I'm all in my head, right? And then it's like, wait a minute, you were not Diddy. You were not remixing what Spirit gave you. 11:11. That is the number. That is what you and Spirit just confirmed. So why are you attempting to change it? Right? So we all, not all, but most of us as light workers struggle with receiving energy in the form of money. And even I'm still learning. It is okay. It is okay. When we understand, not just as the person giving the energy of money, but the person receiving the energy of money, that money is just an energy, we are then able to receive. Now, with that being said, there are times when Spirit will say, this is the price I gave you, but hey, with this person, do it at this price. There's been a time where Spirit has told me to say, well, what can you afford? So within that realm of being open to receive and to charge accordingly, you also have to be open to being in flow. Being in flow and allowing Spirit to tell you when to make an adjustment. It's all about allowing Spirit to guide you. And let me see what you guys are saying. Victoria said, and it's perfect. Victoria said, I just shared this info in a Reiki session this morning. That is so awesome. It is so awesome. You know, this happens often where we receive confirmation. You know what I mean? Confirmation. Oftentimes, it's not always about a lesson. Sometimes it's about confirmation. And then within that confirmation, that itself is a lesson, you know, a new lesson, I should say. It's not always about a new lesson. I love when that happens, literally. Okay. So, Princess of Summer. Look at that card. It's so pretty. Naya said, being a light worker is my passion. I've never felt so much fulfillment. I'm manifesting working in the field, but do feel unworthy. Okay, so before I go to this card, yes, cancel, delete. Yes, Naya caught herself. Because Naya, you are worthy. You are worthy. What are we? Okay, listen, this is something that came through. And I'm so glad. Thank you for saying that, because you just reminded me. Spirit was telling me this, and I was actually planning to do a video on it for Monday Dose of Sunshine. But Spirit is telling me to talk about it now. When I ride in my car, it doesn't make me a car. I'm still Nahkila, right? When I get in an airplane and take a ride in an airplane, it doesn't make me an airplane. I'm still Nahkila, right? That car, that airplane, that bus, that van, that truck, that train, that boat, that ship, it's a vehicle, right? It's a vehicle that takes me where I'm choosing to go. We are in this vehicle. This human form is our vehicle. It doesn't make us this human form. Within that car is this human form. And when we look at those nesting dolls and we keep peeling back the layers, within this human form is divine light. What is the divine worthy of? What is the divine worthy of? Ask yourself, what is the divine worthy of? You're no more this flesh than you are a car. This is just your vehicle. And sometimes our car has dents. Like, for instance, my front bumper has paint on it from me bumping into the wall on my garage. My hood is getting painted Friday from, hey, you know what I mean? But it's still driving me where I'm choosing to go. So those dents on your human form is the trauma that you've experienced. That trauma doesn't make you any less divine. But you have to begin understanding and knowing that you're worthy. Because here's the thing, that divinity within you is what allows you to create your reality. So if you're saying, I'm not worthy, you will continue to live in that state of not being worthy. When you're not worthy, what does that produce? What type of life does that create? So the moment you shift and you understand, it's not even just a belief, you know that you're worthy, then you will have experiences that prove your worthiness. So thank you so much for saying that. Naya said, Victoria said, Naya, you have something no one else has. You are a gift to everyone and everything you come into contact with. So true. And Naya said, okay, odd question. It is cloudy or a tree casting a shadow. Looks like a clear wave of energy on the side of you. When I'm talking, I'm looking at you all through the camera, so I'm not really paying attention. I do have the door open. I do have my blinds up. But Naya, I would say tap in and see. Are you seeing that or is it something else? Because my cat sees spirits around me all the time. I can tell from how he's looking around and stuff. So, you know, never know. It's like you were the one too, who when I did the reading for you, you couldn't hear the message, but you could hear like chatter before I delivered. You could hear as I was hearing, you know, so yeah, I wouldn't doubt that, you know, anything's possible. Let's see. Naya said, thank you, Victoria. She said, I've seen a few sparkles around you. Okay, if you're seeing sparkles, that's definitely not from the door or or the window. But you know, it's funny because I always say my favorite color is glitter. So here's this. We got the Princess of Summer. And what it says is gentle, sensitive, kind, inexperienced. And you know what is so funny, because when I grabbed the card and when I read what you said, and before I addressed the card, I addressed you, I felt like this card was going to connect to you, Naya. So let's see what it says. A new relationship or emotional experience, invitations to social events, a compassionate friend you can share your concerns with. I just heard it's important for you to connect with those that can help guide you through life. It's important for you to trust and know that the divine will bring them to you. Okay, thank you. When someone is placed in your midst, ask, how are they meant to serve me and how can I serve them? And Spirit will give you guidance. If someone approaches you, even me, with an offer of a mentorship, a course, a class, a workshop, ask Spirit, does this serve my highest good? Does it serve my highest good to take this course, to be at this workshop, to have this mentor? Because that's the only way you're going to know that when you're investing your energy, whether it's your time, whether it's your emotions, whether it's your financial energy, that it's going to serve you. So I'm going to tell you a little quick story about what just happened to me. So I actually had a healing with a Peruvian elder who came to visit my spiritual mentor, Donna. And Donna suggested that I have a session with her. And, you know, I've said this before. I'm cool with Donna just being the only one, you know? And so I literally felt like if she suggested it, it's going to serve my highest good. So after the session, Donna and I had a moment to talk. And she told me there was a class that was taking place Sunday, which is the Sunday that just passed. My facial expressions tend to just happen sometimes. And so when Donna said that, I was checking in with Spirit. Like I was literally, and so my eyes are kind of like, and my head's kind of like, because I'm checking in and I'm listening. As she's talking, I'm doing both. I'm listening to her with this side, I'm listening to Spirit. So she's like, no, there's no pressure. You know, if you don't have the money or if you know, it's okay. And I was like, no, I was checking in. Spirit said yes. So I did. I took the class. You know, and it was amazing. There's so many amazing things that I'm going to be able to share with you as I'm helping you facilitate your own healing. So I do it and I recommend you do it. Now, I trust Donna with my everything. You know, she energetically is the one that helped me to awaken. And it was just a simple story she told me about her grandmother visiting her in spirit form about getting to work in her purpose. This was long before I ever even thought of doing this work or ever even, you know, was here, you know, probably like 6 years before. And I felt like she was speaking to me, delivering me a message. And although I know that we're meant to walk this path together, I still check in with Spirit. So although you trust me, although I resonate with you, when you are going to take that step to join the mentorship, when you are going to take a course, invest in a course or a workshop or the retreat, check in with Spirit. Just get in the habit of doing that with everything and everyone. This is how you will reach success. And when I say success, I'm speaking your purpose. I'm not speaking work. I'm not speaking financial. I'm not speaking relationships. I'm speaking your purpose. That's the only way. Spirit has to guide every step. Every step. Every step. Okay, thank you. I heard you can ignore what Spirit gives you. It'll take longer. And it's okay if you're in that stage of still not fully trusting Spirit and you don't do what you're guided to do. It just means you're still learning. So it's okay. There's no right or wrong. Lessons and blessings. So don't beat yourself up. Beating yourself up is not okay. You're much prettier without an energetic black eye. Your spirit shines much brighter without a spiritual bloody nose, an energetic bloody nose. Okay, so this one came in upside down too. And let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Naya says, Spirit is definitely guiding good people to me. And so it is. And so it is. And you know what? Set the tone now. When I started this work, I was working with a mentor. I went to school, and then after school, well, first, before school, I invested in a mentor. And then I was taking that course in school. investing in school. Now, mind you, this is all with me like struggling financially, and literally put my faith and my trust in, and it happened. It happened. Spirit made a way. But then after I was investing in this mentor, and she served her purpose, and when it was done, she really was pushing for me to continue. And it got really low vibrational on her end. And what I said to her was, I trust and I know that Spirit will bring all those to me that will help me serve my purpose. Literally. And it is happening. You know, for me, when I started my business, I didn't start with a budget. I started with nothing. You know, it was just me trusting, having faith, and allowing Spirit to guide me, you know? And so the people that have been brought onto my team, it's either been very affordable, or I have been able to do a service for service, you know? And so that was me manifesting that. And so, you know, those areas where I'm not able to have service for service, or it's not able to be inexpensive, I just tap in and I manifest the funds. And that's what it was with school and me investing in those mentors. You know, I had to manifest the funds because in reality, I just didn't have it. I really did not have it. It was to the point where I was literally like, okay, I'm probably going to start school next year. And then I instantly was like, wait a minute, your thoughts create your reality. What are you doing? No, I'm starting this year, no matter what. And I did. And I did. And I used to always say I did and don't know how, but I do know how. I trusted, I surrendered, and I took action based on what Spirit gave me. And then everything flowed. But it happened so like magically, for lack of better terms, that it just made me go, wow. You know what I mean? So you set the tone now to claim that. And Victoria, you too, and anyone else watching, set the tone now to claim that everything it takes for you to serve your highest good and to serve those you're called to serve, that it will come to you easily and effortlessly, that you will be able to have it or do it, you know? Okay, so what does this say? Princess of Autumn. Princess of Autumn. And it says, studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous. Happy news about your career, promotions, or scholarships. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. Needing a little push to get going. You are being guided in the direction that serves you. But it's time for you to trust and say yes. You've been waiting and you've been making excuses. You've been lacking faith. And now it's time for you to say no more. You just have to simply say, I trust, and Spirit will say, I got you. Okay, thank you. And I'm being told to tell you about my experience. And I've shared this before in the United Light Beings Awakening group on Facebook, but I'm being told to share it again. So I was having acupuncture one day. And usually when I get acupuncture, I meditate. I take that as a time to meditate. So apparently this time I was in a really deep meditative state. And I thought I had fallen asleep and that I had woke up. Wake up, woke up, awaken. Okay, I was woke, right? And when I woke up, there was a needle in my throat and I was dying. And my acupuncturist was attempting to revive me. Now, there was nothing about this experience that seemed fake, dreamlike, or like I was still in a deep meditative state. I truly thought I was dying. Everything about it felt real, seemed real. And in that moment of feeling and believing and thinking I was dying, I just smiled and I put my head back and I relaxed. And then I woke up out of that meditative state and Spirit said, you trusted even when facing death. You will never fear anything again. And it still makes me get a little emotional talking about that because in that moment I cried. The tears they were coming down my face because I knew that moving forward, Spirit has my back in every single thing. I fear nothing. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to fear. When you activate that trust in the divine, you will be protected. You will be guided. You will be blessed. That was such an amazing turning point in my journey. And you may or may not have an experience that's that profound where it's like literally. Now, okay, let's just back up a bit. My acupuncturist has never put a needle in my throat. So, you know what I mean? Never. There's never been a needle in my throat, you know? But in that moment, it all felt so real. It all felt so real. And so now I no longer struggle with trusting the divine. Do I sometimes struggle with being hard-headed? Yes. Victoria, you were in the class this past weekend. I shared how, you know, I had on this red dress, really pretty dress. I absolutely love it. Spirit told me to put that on. Wear that today, right? I put it on. It was so pretty. And I'm thinking, this is a bit dressy for the class, right? I'm being hard-headed. So I take it off and I put on this tie-dye jumper that's really loose and baggy, super cute still, but comfy, you know? And literally I break the strap. Well, first of all, I didn't break it when I get it on, but I noticed you can see my bra. And so I'm like, you know what? And I'm taking it off. And as I'm taking it off, I break the strap. Never wore it before. First time. And the reason that happened, I'm like, okay. I was being hard-headed, you know? Spirit's like, listen, you're not about to put on a shirt under this and wear it. I'm breaking the strap so that you are going to wear what I tell you to wear. But there was method to the madness. The dress was red. I go to select my tea. I asked Spirit, what tea to drink today? I was told my grounding tea, right? Red is the color of grounding. So what Spirit was saying to me is, I'd like you to be grounded today while you're taking this class. While I'm in this human vehicle, there's dents, you know, there's dents. As long as you're in this human vehicle, that paint is not going to be like it was when it was at the dealership. So I still have my human moments, and that was one of them. But the beauty of it is I learned that lesson instantly. So from now on, I don't care if Spirit tells me to wear a ball gown to a ball game. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Victoria said every single time. And I said, well, Victoria's laughing and said the red dress was perfect for the class. Yes, it was. It was because Spirit told me to wear it. So, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, we just have to choose. We have to choose. We can either allow Spirit to guide us. And I've said this before, when Spirit is guiding us, we are actually guiding us, because we've had meetings with our spirit council before we jumped into this flesh suit. You know, we've stated, we've seen our purpose, we've seen our path, and we've said, okay, well, for this lifetime, I'm choosing this and this, and I'm choosing to connect with Naya and Victoria on, what's today's date? At 11:35, we're going to be having this conversation we're having right now. And so when I came here, I forgot all about this. And Spirit didn't. My spirit council knows exactly what I agreed to come here to do. So what they're doing is they're guiding me through this amnesia, this spiritual fog, so that I can do what I chose to do. So I'm really in control when I'm allowing Spirit to guide me. And so are you. Okay. Also, I was told to tell you to look up 1135. Look up that angel number. And you can share it in the comments when you do. Okay, thank you. So do I do this one first or the other one? Okay, thanks. Okay, so this came in upside down as well. And let me see, what is it? Two of Spring. Two of Spring. This card is pretty. It just makes me feel good inside. Two of Spring. And what it says is a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams, great progress being made. Okay. Okay, thank you. So what I just heard regarding the progress, Spirit is telling me to tell you, you are progressing. And that is a blessing. Even if the only thing you're doing is getting on this live every Wednesday, that is progress. Even if the only thing you're doing is getting up every morning and saying a prayer of gratitude, that is progress. As long as you are moving forward into your awakening, that is progress. It's when you stop that you're no longer progressing. So don't beat yourself up or compare your steps to the steps of others. Because again, this is your path, your journey, your steps. Something just happened where all of your, oh, that was really, really weird. All of your comments went away and then they came back. So I'm being told that's so that I can read what Naya said because I wasn't looking. With our soul pack, do we have another name? For example, in this plane, you're Nahkila and I'm Shania. But does our soul, higher self, have an eternal name? I believe that we do. And what I'm being told is it's not always different from the name we have here. So like I was born Nahkila Isha Lee. Nahkila means Queen of Beauty. Isha means life. And Lee is just my father's family last name. And so when we do things like, you know, there's vibrational frequency attached to our name. So often if we put our name, there's calculators. And I shared one in our group, the United Light Beings Awakening. When you put your name in, you can get the numbers associated with that vibration. And you'll find that oftentimes that number, that information resonates with who you are in this life. I do believe that we are given names that we are given in this life based on what our purpose is. And if you would like to know what your spirit name is or your soul name is, ask your guides. You know what I'm saying? Like ask them, like, who was I? Reveal to me, and trust that they will. You know, there's nothing you can't ask that you won't receive. Nothing, nothing. And also, you know, if you schedule a reading, I can tap in too. But I know that you can tap in and get that answer. I know not everyone is at the point where they can, you know, so if there's someone who watches later that is at that point where you're not tapping in yet and you'd like to know, if you do a reading, I can tap in for you. But I feel like those of you that are on right now, you're more than capable of tapping in on your own and receiving. And with that being said, I do readings all day long, and I just had an amazing reader with Javi. Javi's been in the RIM mentorship, oh goodness, for maybe a year, maybe longer. I don't know. It's been a while. And also is a featured reader for Ashworth Scott Life Sculpting. And although I can tap in myself, I love getting readings. I've been getting readings before I even knew that I could tap in, you know? So, you know, it's just all about what you feel. Naya said, beautiful meaning to your name. Thank you so much. Name based on purpose. How clever. Yes, it's the truth, you know. And when I named my boys, I did it with the intention to give them a name that they could live up to. You know, my mom did not name me with that in mind. The way I got my name was my cousin. She's passed now, but she was all of our favorite cousin. Her name is Mary. And she actually was going to name my cousin Dairiki Nahkila Isha, and Dairiki ended up being a boy. So she actually gave my mom permission to name me that. Now, here's the funny thing. I named my oldest son, his name is Asim. Asim is his first name. Asim Shabazz Rahman Bey is his full name. And so even though Mary's my favorite cousin, I grew up with Dairiki. I never knew that Asim was Dairiki's middle name until I told Mary what I was naming Asim. And she goes, you know, that's Dairiki's middle name. And Asim means brave protector. So my youngest son is Samaj, which is James backwards. And so the reason he's named Samaj is because my favorite uncle is James. And I love all of my uncles. Don't get me wrong. But my Uncle James is more like my godfather. You know, he actually calls me his de facto daughter. And so my youngest was named Samaj because all of the qualities that my Uncle James possesses, you know, I was naming him that with the intention of him possessing those same qualities. So there's definitely, you know, meanings to names. When I was pregnant and I first time had a boy, knew I was having a boy, saw him as I was pregnant, the same way he looked when he was, I think, 1 or 2. You know, so with Samaj, I just knew he was going to be a boy. And for both, if they were girls, they were going to be Neojala, which one's whose purpose is to serve God. You know, now the boys have promised me I can name their first child if they have a girl, and her name will be Nahkila Isha. So I'm rambling, but just a little bit more about the names. Naya said, I love reading too, same as you. Yes, I love receiving them. You know, I had did readings for them in the REM group. And when I did, you know, everyone in the group, Nikki, who's also in REM, said that she would pull cards for me. And then Javi said that he would do a full-on reading. So it was a nice blessing, a nice exchange of energy, because I don't do that for them to give me anything back. But when they do, I graciously accept it. So 2 of Springs. Is there anything else coming through? A bright future manifested through hard work and creativity. Partnering with others who share your dreams. Great progress being made. Okay, for some reason, and not some reason, but Victoria, I'm hearing you in this one. There is progress being made, and it's great. It's all about partnering with those you're called to serve and those that are called to serve you. Stepping out on faith and having trust. And as I heard that stepping out on faith, continuing and kicking it up a notch. I heard kicking it up a notch, revving it up a notch. You have not reached your peak, but you are definitely heading there. I heard heading there and heading in that direction. And I heard stop allowing fear to creep in. It still creeps in and you're working hard to combat it, but just simply choose. Choose to release fear. Choose to see yourself as this flesh suit being your vehicle and connecting to who you are underneath it. And this is a message that goes for everyone, but it came, you know, Victoria, literally Spirit said Victoria. I just heard you can and will be all that you've set out to be if you just learn to release fully and completely. Okay, thank you. I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Naya said, oh, cool. I dreamed of my babies before they were born. Yes. So I was pregnant and he unzipped my stomach. Unzipped it. Weird. I know. He unzipped it, climbed out, and he was just playing. You know, he was running around playing. I was like, I see him get back in. He wouldn't listen. I see him get back in. And then his dad was like, I see him get back in. And then he got back in and zipped himself up. And when I saw him, again, I was pregnant, but literally what I saw was exactly how he looked when he was a toddler. So, you know, and at this time, I really didn't identify with being psychic. I was always intuitive, but this is a prime example when I say we are all born psychic. You know, we're all born psychic. It's just that trauma has buried it, you know, trauma's buried it. I thought my cat Ganesh was on the counter, but he wasn't. I don't know what that was I was seeing. I just heard we all have the gift of greatness. We all have the gift of greatness because greatness is who we are. We are greatness. We are divine and radiant. So I'm being led to tell you how I came up with the way I greet you all with greetings, divine radiance. Well, Spirit gave that to me so that each time you read a post or each time I speak to you, you are reminded of the fact that you are divine and you are radiant. What is divine? What is radiant? You know, what does that mean to you? It's a reminder of who you are. So I'm hearing, allow your soul to be your guide and trust it. Don't seek more, as in what could go wrong or lack. Seek abundance within the realm of flow from and through spirit. Is there anything else for that card? Okay, thank you. And this last one came in upside down too. And what this one is justice. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see the picture? Justice. Okay, now instantly just looking at it, that sword, what comes in as I'm looking is you are a soldier in the army of light. You are a soldier in the army of light. And the one thing my grandmother used to always say is God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. So those of us that have experienced the most trauma, there is a purpose in our pain. But we have to first release the trauma in order to get to the purpose. Otherwise, the pain is in vain. And nothing we do on this earth is in vain. So stop living in a state of being in pain in vain and allow your purpose to be born. Allow it to be born. Allow it to be born. Even if you're acting in your purpose, you're working actively in your purpose. If you are still holding on to trauma, if you are still holding on to fear, you are not where you are called to be yet. It is time to release so you can be where you've called for yourself to be. So what this says is take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. And for whatever reason, I'm hearing forgiveness. Forgiveness. And the reason I say for whatever reason is because it doesn't relate to the card. But I'm just going to wait and let Spirit tell me what this is coming from. Okay. I mean, I knew what forgiveness was, but I didn't know how it would relate to the card. But we'll just flow and then we'll tie it. Okay. Forgiveness is key to release. I mean, we know that, but that's what's coming through. Forgiveness is key to release. Sometimes it's like, it's not that difficult. Keep it simple. You cannot release fully if you have not forgiven. And I shared this over in REM, and I'm being led to share it with you. So when I had my session with the healer, we covered a few things. My injury, a result of childhood trauma. Although it happened in my adult life, metal rack fell on my shoulder. But everything we experience is caused by something, you know? So I wasn't like, wait, how is that so? I understand that. Every experience we have, it's caused by something. It's caused by an energy. So with my stepfather, I always refer to him as my brother's dad. I stopped calling him my stepfather, but I'm now saying my stepfather, not my bonus dad. They're two different men. My mom was married to my dad, my brother's dad, now her current husband, who is my bonus dad, whom I love dearly. But my stepfather and my mother, they got married when I was 6. Now, when they got married, the day they got married, I was crying. Oh my goodness, I was crying. This is another thing where I realized that, again, always psychic, just never really know. I saw him. And so I had started to feel in about 2016 that my stepfather molested me. Now, the physical abuse was horrific. The mental abuse was horrendous. And so was the spiritual abuse, because he actually used religion in a lot of ways. Like I would get beatings for him saying God told him I was going to do something, or God told him I did something that I didn't do. And, you know, we would literally get beat severely, you know. And so I just started to feel like I blocked this out. And there were things where people would say, you remember this, you know, like things that were from my era growing up. And I didn't remember, like chunks of stuff I had no idea about. So this is where it first started, where I started to think, you know, did he molest me? You know? And so one day was it this year or in 2017? I don't know, either 17 or this year. I literally asked Spirit, did he molest me? And I got yes, right? So I'm thinking, okay, now I know, but I don't know details. I don't remember. And what purpose does it serve? You know, I'm not going to ask for details because what purpose will that serve? So I didn't. So much so, I even forgot that Spirit had confirmed that he molested me. And when I shared it with my mom, I was reminded, like, you already confirmed that with Spirit, because the healer said that he molested me. Like, there was more. She picked up on that I had no memory. Now, mind you, we didn't talk about this, you know, and I'm like, okay, thinking it's my first time knowing this. But the reason why I had to know, after my session, Dawn and I were talking, it was so that I could forgive it, so that I could forgive it. When I received confirmation on my own, I was like, okay, now what? And then again, forgot about it. But through this session, the reason I had to remember is so I could forgive it. So I could forgive it. That's the only reason. I don't have to know details, but I know what happened. So I have to forgive him for this, because even those things we don't remember consciously, they have still occurred, and our physical self is still holding on to that trauma, and that energy of that trauma, whether we consciously are aware or not, it's affecting us energetically. So why did you tell me to tell them that? So that you can understand the importance of forgiveness. It's so important. It's so important. And as you are forgiving, if you don't know of all the experiences you've had that forgiveness is necessary, just set the intention and say it out loud. I forgive everyone who has ever hurt me, in every space, in every time, in every dimension, and in the now. Forgive everyone that has ever hurt you. You know why? I have gratitude for those experiences. I have gratitude for the abuse, every form of it. I have gratitude for the abandonment, every form of it. I have gratitude for my pain, because again, those were the stairs that got me to the top of the mountain, where I'm able to shout love. I'm able to shout light. I'm able to shout forgiveness. I'm able to shout, how can I serve you? And when I'm serving you, I'm actually serving me. So release the shame, release the pain, release the guilt, and forgive. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Forgive you for not showing up for you when you didn't show up for you. Forgive you, forgive self, and forgive everyone who has ever hurt you. So I'm going to see what you guys are saying, and then I am going to wrap it up. And it's actually 11:55. Look that number up too. And you know what? Actually, I'm being told to look it up right now. So I'm going to look it up and give you the message. This is so cool. I think the fact that Spirit has forced us over here on YouTube for our Wednesday Live and Power Hour, I think we're going to be here every Wednesday. I'm quite sure. Are we going to be here every Wednesday? Okay, yes. We're going to be here every Wednesday. Thank you. We're going to be here every Wednesday. So we're just going to get everyone in the group to know that our Wednesday Live and Power Hours are going to be live here on YouTube. So let's see what 11:55 is saying. It says 11:55 is a combination of the attributes of number 1 appearing twice, magnifying its energies, and the vibrations of double number 5, which enhances the influence of number 5. Number 1 brings the vibration of new beginnings, inner strength, and tenacity, positivity, attainment of and success. Number 1 tells us that we can create our realities with our thoughts, beliefs, and actions, and encourages us to step into the new with courage. Number 5 resonates with major life changes, spontaneity, making important life choices and decisions, personal freedom, and life lessons learned through experience. Number 11:55 promotes the freedom to live your passions and life purpose and fully serve your soul mission. Angel number 11:55 tells you to stick with your convictions and do not allow others to deter or hinder you in any way once you have made your final choice or decision. Only you know your heart's true desires and soul calling. Listen to your own intuition and look to new directions and opportunities with an open mind and heart. Angel number 1155 is a message to take charge of your own life. Do things your own way and make positive life changes to benefit yourself and those around you. Although you may fear the unknown, your angels ask that you trust that these changes will be to your long-term benefit and advantage. Stay positive and optimistic about these impending changes, and you will find that all will go smoothly. Angel number 1155 suggests that the timing is right to take on a new venture, project, and or direction. A happy outcome and result follows your positive expectations. Angel number 1155 also suggests that you deserve some positive changes to take place in your life. Have the courage to be true to yourself and life, your passions and purpose. Angel number 1155 relates to the number 3. So you can look up the number 3 on your own time if you choose to. Okay, thank you. I'm also being told to tell you, if you have been considering working together, the time to do it is now. The time to do it is now. Like there's no putting it off. Some of you are aware of the spirit-led special offer that I was led to offer. And I was told to do it with 5 people. And there are currently, actually, okay, thank you. I was just told to keep with the 2 because I was thinking there was 1. But in reality, I had some work done and I paid for a portion of it. And then we stopped and went into the service for service. So what Spirit was telling me, although I'm giving the time as if it were that special, Spirit is saying don't count that. So there's literally 2 spots available. And once those spots are filled, they're gone. I was led to offer it to 5. So no matter how much I would like to extend that indefinitely to individuals, I have to stick to what Spirit gave me. And there's currently 3 people that have shown interest in it that have said they're doing it. But until they enroll and they've made that initial payment, it's still available. So I'm being led to share that with you, that spirit-led special offer to work together in the REM mentorship. So if you are not familiar with what it is, you can ask me. And if you are familiar, then I am definitely talking to you. Yes, to both of you. So let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Naya said, trusting. That's hilarious. And Victoria said the class we took Sunday was a catalyst for me. And justice was the theme of my yearly reading for my birthday this year. Naya said, I need to forgive myself and a few others. Well, cancel, delete, need. You are choosing to forgive yourself and a few others. You're simply choosing. And that's how you're going to do it. You don't need to do anything, but it does serve your highest good to do so. Naya said, "Oh, Nahkila," and she has a broken heart icon. And it's like I don't cry over it anymore because I'm grateful. You know what I mean? So if I had not experienced those things, I would not be here serving you right now. Like my grandmother said, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. It's just a matter of when do we come out of the fog? When do we come out of the fog and get to work as light workers? There's work to do. Naya said, I close my eyes when you talk so I can see. I saw you looking up as a kid with fear on your face and a feeling of please help me. And, I was actually, now I do have a memory of him making me masturbate in front of him when I was about 6, but that's the only memory I had, but I had started to feel like there was more, you know what I mean? And literally I was thinking about the crying before when him and my mom got married. I was my grandfather's favorite. My grandfather was the type that would say who his favorites were, and he definitely showed a difference. So my grandfather had never spanked me, and I was crying so much he offered to spank me. It also, I'm glad we're having this conversation because see, I get a lot. I receive a lot of downloads, and then I sometimes forget if I don't have my book to write it down. And what Spirit was leading me to do was to talk to parents about paying attention to their children and what's going on, because children are still connected to their own psychic gifts. They don't disconnect until they're taught that it's not normal. You know, as long as we facilitate that connection, it will continue to grow and get stronger. And so I often felt like I was seeing him for who he was. But the other night I was thinking, well, was he doing things already that I just don't remember? You know what I mean? So the message was for parents to pay attention to their children. When your children don't like a person, you know, it's important that you figure out why. And the other thing, and now I saw this on Candy Coated Nights. My mom, when she was here, she had it on, and I actually enjoyed the show. Like, it's probably a show I'm going to be watching periodically, because sometimes TV is my way to disconnect. And so anyways, long story short, what they were saying was a lot of people figure you bring your children around a person when you know it's going to be serious. But it's really valuable to bring your children around before that point, so that, because if you get serious and you're at the point where you're thinking marriage, and then your children meet this person and your child doesn't like them, then what? How many parents are actually going to say, oh, it's over because my child doesn't like you? You know? And when I speak child, I mean like young children, the ones that have to be in the home with this person, because sometimes children are reacting from a very intuitive place, not just being a child that wants mommy or daddy all to themselves. So important. So thank you. Naya, you've been just reminding me of so much today that Spirit has told me to talk about. So thank you for being that vessel. Hey, Mimi, I didn't even know you were here. Thank you for being here. And Mimi said, welcome. Well, or forgiveness. I'm saying welcome, forgiveness. And let's see. Naya said, I, like you, get comments way quicker. Naya said, I see you now with my eyes closed, with a beautiful glow around you, loving light. Thank you. And so it is. And so it is. Yes. So truly and completely, those experiences were experiences I chose. You know, we choose our path. And when we have deja vu, that's what that is. It's just we're having glimpses of this life that we've already seen. And it's like our memories being jolted. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this has happened before. Well, not necessarily like it's actually happened, but we've seen it all before we chose to do it. So sometimes we're having that memory while it's happening. Naya said, you're welcome. Thank you, Spirit, for letting me be a vessel and saying something. Yes, thank you, Naya. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it looks like we, you know, and it's called Wednesday Live and Power Hour. Have you all noticed it's never an hour? And Spirit literally said to start working on that. I am going to set the intention to really get it to an hour. But I do thank you so much. I thank you for joining. Those of you that are here live and those of you that are going to catch the replay, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your energy and your light with me. And I leave you with peace, love, bliss, and abundance. And I will talk to you next Wednesday. See you then.